Hey guys, I want to go over the lab safety guidelines. I'm sorry about the poor quality of the scanned-in lab safety sheet here, but it works. There's a lot to lab safety, and I want to go over it to make sure that you guys are aware of what to do and what not to do in the lab. Now, what I say, in addition to what is written, is also imperative to your survival in lab. I haven't had any accidents, and I pride that because you guys follow the directions. Okay. Now, first and foremost, always be safety conscious. Move around the laboratory in a safe manner. Okay? This is a class where you need to have patience. Okay? You need to follow directions. Move around safely. You're not going to get hurt. And more importantly, you're not going to hurt anybody else. Number 2, report all accidents. All accidents. No accident is too small to report. I need to know. Okay. Number 3, no locations of safety equipment in a laboratory. Use only in emergencies, and know the locations of fire exits. Now, in this class, we have a fire blanket, which is in a red drum. At the bottom of the drum, there's a lever you flip open and a fire blanket falls out. And if something is on fire or someone, you can lay it on top of the fire and smother the fire. We also have a fire extinguisher by the front door near the clock. Always spray the fire extinguisher at the base of the flame because that's the material that's burning. Then we also have an eye wash station by the front sink. Okay. If there's a fire drill, code green, we go out the front door, we make a right, and then we make a left out the first stairwell and go out to the bus platform. If we're in a different room other than 225, follow the directions at that time. Okay, so number 4, plan ahead. Become familiar with all health and safety hazards of equipment and chemicals in use. Make a long story short, all the chemicals we're going to be using is dangerous to us. We must be careful with everything you touch. Do not want to get anything in your mouth and eyes. Safety glasses, or we use splash-proof goggles. Okay, splash-proof goggles basically encapsulate your eyes. They cover your whole entire eye from every angle. Okay. If you wear glasses, splash-proof goggles go over them. If you wear contact lenses, technically speaking, you're supposed to be wearing lab safety glasses covered by splash-proof goggles. All right. That's the technical rule. All right. Also, rubber aprons should be worn while carrying out many kinds of experiments. I have black rubber aprons, which can aid if there's a spill of hot water, spill of acid, or any kind of liquid solutions that could possibly fall into your lap. Number 6, Bunsen burners are very, very dangerous. They get very, very hot. So use Bunsen burners only at the direction of the teacher. Open flames are prohibited when flammable substances are in the laboratory. Never leave active burners unattended. Do not walk away from a burner and leave it burning by itself. Shut it off. Go back to it at a later time and turn it back on. Number 7, confine long hair while working in the laboratory. Watch for flames and machinery. So if you have long hair, you need to tie it back. Number 8, always wash your hands thoroughly at the end of the laboratory period. We have 2 sinks. Use soap, plenty of hot water, and dry off your hands before you leave. When handling chemicals, keep your hands away from your face, eyes, and body until they have been washed. If a chemical is splashed or spilled on your skin, flush it away with plenty of water. If irritation or pain develops, let me know. Even if you splash something on your skin, please let me know. Number 10, if you get chemicals into your eyes. Go directly to the eye wash fountain and gently flush with water. Report this immediately as you're walking over to the eye wash station. Okay. The number of minutes that you're supposed to be washing your eyes out if you get something in your eyes is 15 minutes, especially if it's a chemical. You want to dilute it. And you must take 2 fingers, peel open your eye like an eye doctor does, and get the water in there. Okay? That's 15 minutes of that. Not just like kind of opening your eye. You have to force it open to get the water in. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. It could be reacting to your eye at that time. Number 11, do not consume food or water while in the laboratory. Never taste chemicals. That's not going to happen in here because everything that you get in this class, this is not culinary. This is chemistry. They're chemicals. They're dangerous. Number 12, keep desktops clear of all books, clothing, and other personal property except necessary lab directions and notebooks. Keep fume hoods clear and clean. So you're only going to be walking around with lab directions and your lab equipment. That's it. I don't want to see anything else. Laptops, keep them off to the side. Number 13, I'm not a maid. I'm not going to clean up after you guys. So return cleaned equipment to its proper place when finished. Report any damage of equipment to me. Okay, when you're done, put it back. If it's wet, leave it off to the side of the drying rack to dry. Okay, unless I tell you to put it back. If it's the last block, I'm going to have you put stuff back and it'll dry in the cabinet. Number 14, I don't want anything left in the sink. Like I said, I'm not your maid. Okay? If someone leaves something in the sink, let me know. I'm taking points off. Put it back. Number 15, never return chemicals to stock bottles. It's like this. If you have an orange juice container in the fridge, okay, you take a cup of it, drink half the cup. Do you put it back in the orange juice container? No, it's disgusting. Okay? So we never put chemicals back where it came from. You can hand me the chemicals and I'll keep them off to the side to use them in another class, but I cannot contaminate the stock bottle. Number 16, handle only materials that you're assigned to work with. You guys are not professionals with chemistry yet. You do not know what reacts with what. You cannot mix things that you're unsure of. Only a trained chemist or scientist that went to college for chemistry, biology, will understand the proper uses of chemicals. Nobody else. So handle only materials that you're assigned to work with. Like I said, these chemicals are extremely dangerous. Number 17, use acids and bases with caution. Okay, we're going to get to a point where we use lots of acids and bases. All right. Wipe up spilled material at the direction of the teacher. Watch out for eyes, skin, and clothing. We're going to see a video, and it's going to show you how to clean up acids and bases. Keep reagent bottles covered. Okay, we do not want to leave lids off because moisture will get in and contaminate the substance or degrade it. Okay, or oxidize, they call it. Number 19, very, very important. Do not use unlabeled chemicals. If it's not labeled, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Check label twice to be sure that you have the right bottle. Also, check the lab directions. Make sure you have the right chemical that you're looking for. Anything unlabeled, please let me know. Number 20, follow all instructions, both written and verbal. If you think some changes in the procedure are necessary or desirable, forget about it. No. You can ask me, but they're not going to be necessary to change because they're the best that they are. Unless you're a trained chemist, you can let me know. Okay, if you have something that's broken, there's a special container to put that in. Now, broken glass, I have a dustpan and brush. You clean up immediately with the brush and pan. Do not put it directly in the garbage can. The custodian could pick up the garbage and it could tear through and cut him, so it must be disposed of properly, and I have a container for that. Number two, if you are given the opportunity, you have to be very, very careful about inserting glass tubing into corks or stoppers. Okay, there's a procedure that we follow in order to do that. I usually do this for you. Okay, avoiding burns. This is very important. Okay, so avoiding burns. Keep a lighted burner away from clothing, books, or other combustibles. Lean away from the top of Bunsen burners while it's being lit. Okay, when you're lighting a Bunsen burner, the flame's gonna kind of ignite upwards. The air becomes less dense, like a hot air balloon. Don't put your face above it. It's gonna burn your eyebrows off. Okay, number two, hot glass looks like cold glass. Don't touch someone else's stuff because they just might have heated up something and put it down, and they don't have to tell you what they're doing. Don't grab their stuff. Hands to yourself. Do not touch anybody's personal property or lab equipment. You don't want to get burned. It has happened before. It happens quite often, actually, in the high school. Okay. Number three, to heat easily evaporated flammable liquids, use a water bath. Okay, so like if you have a container of alcohol, you want to heat it up. Do not put it directly on the flame. It'll explode. You have to put it into a boiling water bath inside a fume hood that can capture any kind of vapors if something bad happens. And lastly, do not heat anything inside a closed container. The pressure will build up and it'll explode. Okay, now, handling chemicals. To smell the contents of a container, use a wafting action of the hand as demonstrated by your teacher. Now, I'm not going to ask you guys ever to smell something. If you do, the wafting action is where you have the test tube or beaker of the substance that you're looking to smell. Keep it about a foot away from your face, about nose height. Take your other hand and pull your hand towards your face across the opening of the mouth of the container and bring your hand towards you. It's going to create a vacuum effect, pulling a diluted scent towards your face that your body can handle. Okay. But I'm never going to ask you to smell something. If you do, that's the proper way. In any kind of store, any kind of fragrance, if you're going to buy it in like the cologne department in the mall, that's what you want to do. Never put it right to your face. Anything. Okay. Number two, use care, avoiding splattering of solutions when heating to dryness. This is directly related to cooking. If you're cooking eggs, you don't keep the pan above a hot flame the whole entire time. You start lowering the flame. Or if the pan starts bubbling too much, what you're cooking is getting too hot, you remove the pan. Okay, so you want to control the heat source. Okay, so lower the burner or remove whatever is above the burner, or shut the burner off because you don't want it to dry too quick. Number three, I have disposable pipettes. You do not ever need to use your mouth to vacuum up chemicals. Okay. Number four, always add acids to water with a gentle stirring action. All right. This should generally be done in a large open beaker. Avoid overheating, which often accompanies too rapid mixing. Acid into water, never the reverse. So the directions is to make a solution. If you have water, you pour the acid into it very slow. Never water into acid. Okay, water will be attacked vigorously by the acid. Versus oppositely, acids, when it's dropped into water, the water is not as strong as the acid, so it doesn't react as violently. Okay, so acid to water. So just remember the alphabet goes A to Z or A to W, A to W. The last is electrical precautions. Before connecting equipment to a power source, connect all wiring for electrical defects. Examine all wiring for electrical defects and improper installation. Make sure that all equipment is properly grounded and that you are not. Make sure that your hands are dry. Be certain that the proper voltage is being applied or proper voltage is available. And follow directions. If you're unsure of any procedure, just please ask me. Okay? And that's it, guys.